And we are live. Welcome to Hooters Hangout Season 1, Episode 4. Glad everybody likes it. I'm happy I'm getting some emails, some texts from people that are really appreciating it. I appreciate the input, guys. It's a fun thing to do, but it's even more fun to know that everybody's looking at it. Whole lot to go over tonight. I know the commish, he likes to flake out. He said he was going to be here. Ron said he was going to be here. Sure, he just wants to talk a little smack, but maybe talk about how things are going thus far. Again, I got Scott with me tonight, and as always, anybody that wants to join, it's just a matter of shooting an email, shooting a text, keep them going. Still follow me at Hooter McGavin on Twitter, and you can always send me emails. Like I said, jam-packed show tonight, a lot going on. Trade deadline is next week. We'll go over that. But right now, I'm going to start with last week. Some big things happened last week. We'll get going with Jets and Patriots. No surprise there. The Patriots did it again. They're playing really good football right now. They're easily the best team in that East Division. Right now, the season ended. They'd have a bye. It's impressive. It's good for them. Baltimore beat Atlanta. Not a surprise there. They did what they had to do. Washington over Tennessee. Not a surprise. Tennessee, another close one, man. Just to think, if they made a few more plays at the end, they could be sitting at 4-2, 5-1, something like that. They played some really good teams, and they've come up short on a lot of them. It's a good team. Hopefully, like I've been saying, they don't blow everything up. Seattle, St. Louis. I don't think the Rams are as good as I thought they were. I mean, that should have been a game that they won by a bunch. They didn't. It was a close game. That was one of my sleeper picks, as always, to make a good run. I just don't see it happening. Cardinals right now really lead that division, look strong. Cleveland wins again. Good defense, not making mistakes. They might be the team to beat if it's not the Colts right now. Speaking of the Colts, they did their job. 30-3 over Cincy. It was never close from the beginning. Another big win for Indy. They're 7-0. Minnesota, Buffalo. Close game. You start to see maybe the Vikings are a little more vulnerable than people expected. I know that GM Gary Bell, he's got to get rid of Manning or Brady because it's in his head. He keeps wanting to switch them back and forth, back and forth. Won it late, still 6-1, still in control of his own destiny. Chicago wins again. They're cruising. They're a little bit of a benefit of playing an easy first half of the season. We'll see what happens here in the second half of the season. But so far, so good for them. Detroit wins again with Chase Daniels. They'll get Aaron Rodgers back. I doubt you see Daniels again unless Rodgers goes down again. But good for a team to go 5-1 without their starting quarterback, without their star quarterback, and really working with Chase Daniels. Another big win for them. Now they get the second half of the season to get Aaron Rodgers going. Carolina put a whooping on Green Bay, 37-12. Green Bay team, not as good this year as they were last year. It looks like they're in a little bit of you'd think they're in a little bit of rebuilding mode. We got some things that we'll talk about later on. Chiefs Chargers, another one that was a lot closer than I expect. I really felt like the Chiefs would blow them out. Maybe they're starting to regret not having a quarterback a little bit. Maybe they're going to be someone that's looking to get one here soon. That's not how you want to win a game against a team that really has not scored a bunch. It really hasn't kept many games close. Arizona destroyed the Raiders, one of my upset picks of the week. I really like how the Cardinals are playing. There's a young team, good owner over there. They're very active, something that we'd love to have. Very good start for them. Only good things can come in the future. Whew! Big loss for me this week. Giants, Dallas. Couple things to note here. Dallas, really the offense sputtered a whole bunch, and Adrian Peterson just manhandled the Dallas defense. I think that O-line deserves an award. I mean, if there was a player of the week, one of their O tackles had 7 pancakes in one game. I mean, they had 21 total in the game. That's almost unheard of. Very, very good win for the Giants. You see that they're starting to realize, again, that they're just like the old Bengals team. They're going to be a running team. Should help them if they can keep it up. 49ers, Broncos. Denver wins, but again, a close one. They really, the 49ers haven't played anybody tough. I would have liked to see Denver score a little bit more. But again, right now, they're in control of their own destiny and with a pretty easy schedule. They've got a good shot to make the playoffs. And then the big blowout of the week, Pitt absolutely running over Houston. Statement game, big game for Pittsburgh. They did everything right. It's probably the first time they've done everything right all year. The Colts played them close, and that's really going to get in the head of the Colts a little bit. The Steelers needed this game in a big way. They needed this one more than they needed this one this week, but that's just a big, big win for them, and they left no doubt about it. They just absolutely manhandled them, 51-0. That'll be it for last week's scores and things I want to talk about, I suppose. I'm going to go into what I normally do here and do the injury report. As always, I start with this. Bengals, Broncos, Bucks, Cowboys, Dolphins, Eagles, Falcons, Giants, Jaguars, Packers, Raiders, Rams, Saints, all with no injuries to report. Knock on wood, keep it up, halfway home. New injuries this week. The Panthers lost DeAnthony Thomas to a broken collarbone, and Andre Ellington should get his starting role back. I was surprised that they switched out. Ellington, I think, is a better back. For some reason, they like Thomas, but Ellington will get plenty of reps again. Thomas should be out for at least 5 weeks, I think, something like that, with a broken collarbone. Bears lose tight end Deion Sims for 4 weeks with a shoulder tear. Bills lose Arthur Moats for 2 weeks with a broken wrist. And the Texans kick returner B.W. Webb has a broken collarbone. He'll miss significant time. In terms of, kind of some older injuries, Brown's still without Louis Delmas. I just got a message from our commish. He's playing his game right now, so he's either going to come in here really happy or really mad. That'll be interesting to see. Hopefully he makes it in here. It should be interesting. He'll either be talking a lot of smack or he'll be really upset. I think if he loses, we won't see him. Browns still without Delmas. I said Cardinals should get Ryan Tannehill back next week to help out on the stretch run. That's a big thing for them. They really could use Tannehill back. Hasselbeck's played well, but Tannehill's really the guy they need to make a good playoff run. Pettis still out for 4 weeks. Chiefs wide receiver Bryce Butler, they're still without him for 3 weeks. 49ers, if it matters, Matt Castle still out for 3 weeks. The Jets add another guy to the IR. Jeff Demps out 4 weeks with a shoulder tear. They got 3 injuries, which is a lot for Madden. Derek Carr is still sidelined for most of the rest of the year. Jeremy Maclin should be back next week. That'll help them out a little bit offensively. Seahawks, Matt Ryan still plans to miss a significant amount of time with a broken collarbone. Chargers, Andy Dalton still out for 5 weeks. Colts still without Laron Landry. Still looking like maybe a week 13 for his possible return. The Lions, as I said, they got Aaron Rodgers back this week. That's huge for them. Chase Daniels did a great job, but Rodgers is really what they need to compete. Kellen Winslow and David Wilson will both be sidelined for at least 2 more weeks. The Patriots, Kirk Cousins should be back next week, and we'll see if there's a quarterback controversy. Terrell Pryor's played very well for them. They've only lost 1 game. I think Cousins is Madden-specific better, but do you keep riding the hot hand? Ravens still without Shane Vereen for an extended period of time. Now they lost Donnie Avery. He should be back late, week 15, something like that. Something they don't use a lot, but Avery is definitely a good 4th wide receiver for them, and that's going to hurt them a little bit. Denario Alexander for the Redskins, his ribs are still bothering him, so he'll probably be out 1 more week. The Steelers could really use Dre Archer this week in their matchup with the Colts, but it looks like he's going to be inactive again. That's a big miss for them and a big game for them. And the Titans still sideline Zach Brown for at least 1 more week. That's it for the injury report. Next, I'm going to go into standings, which I don't see a huge difference in how things went and standings-wise. I mean, the NFC, the Cowboys were 6-1, same as last week. Right now in first place, but it's a big loss. Lets everybody get a little bit closer. Vikings 6-1, they would still hold that first-round bye, the same as last week. Panthers still the same as 6-1. Cardinals gaining a little bit of separation. They're 4-2 in that West. The Lions and Bears both stayed at 5-2. The Eagles and Bucks right now are in the mix for the playoff spot. If the playoffs started today, you would see Panthers, Bears, nothing exciting there, and Cardinals, Lions. I don't think that we're going to see anything too exciting there. But let's look what it's looking like for your NFC playoffs. In the AFC, Colts 7-0. They're crushing it. They're making a run, try to be undefeated, at least get that first-round bye. Only need 2 games to make it to the Powerball. Patriots 6-1. They take over the spot with the Chiefs. Right now, it's surprising to say that a team from the AFC East would have a bye, but right now it's the Patriots. The Browns 5-1. They jump ahead of the Chiefs/Raiders. The Chiefs would go into the 4 spot, but now they lead their division for the first time in a while, solely in first place. And the Raiders and the Broncos both at 4 and 2, and then at 5 and 6 spot. Right now, it's a little bit surprising to see 3 teams from the AFC West: Steelers, Ravens, and Texans still fighting. Pitt had a huge win last week. I think they're going to overtake one of those teams just based on how they're playing, especially after last week's game. Just a big statement game for them. Playoffs, if the playoffs started today, we'd see Browns, Broncos. A whole lot of running. That game might be interesting. And then a rematch, Chiefs-Raiders. I'd take the Chiefs there. Trades. Big week for trades. Next week, I think I could do a whole show on going over what's going to happen in the next week. Now it's the time for everybody to go and get things done. One more week, Sunday at 11:59. That's when we'll close down. It's going to be an interesting week for sure. To start for the trades last week, Cowboys, we blamed our loss on Jake Locker and shipped him out for inexperienced Christian Ponder to the Steelers. A lot of mistakes from Locker. I don't know what they're going to do. Ponder is definitely not in a significant upgrade, but they felt like he was just going to get things done a little bit better than Locker. We'll see if that holds weight. We'll see if Ponder can get things done for Dallas. We're 6-1. I mean, Locker's played well, but I think they really were upset how he threw the ball last week. I know that Mettenberger had to play a little bit. Keenum came in and played a little bit. I mean, they were scrambling. I thought they were going to put a punter in. Packers landed their D tackle. See, come on the show, tell me what you want. They got their guy. They grabbed Stephen Paya from the Steelers. They also got J.T. Thomas and Marcus Cannon. They sent 2 2016 second-round picks to the Steelers. Green Bay was busy last week. They picked up Preston Brown and Percy Harvin, sending the Jets first-round pick, left tackle Taylor Lewan, left outside linebacker Alec Ogletree, and wide receiver Justin Hunter to Carolina, and Ron Brooks in a fourth-round pick to the Bengals. Gave up a lot to get Percy Harvin, especially for a team that right now is kind of looking like they're out of it. Maybe they just want him for the future, but they gave up 3 guys that were picked in the first round, and then a 4th first-round pick, essentially. So you're talking 4 first-round picks for Percy Harvin. Big thing there. And probably the guy that traded a whole bunch this week, it's a surprise, but he's really made some moves, is Kyle Edel after his win over the Cowboys. I think he's kind of, last week he went from fire sale to this week where he's really trying to get that team ready to make a run at the playoffs. He started by grabbing K.J. Wright and a starting tackle, Brian Bulaga, grabbed rookie quarterback Blake Bortles in Chicago's 2015 third-round pick, which he then sent to the Cowboys for run-blocking fullback Bruce Miller. And they sent the Bears Donald Penn, DeQuell Jackson, and quarterback Drew Brees. A little bit of a surprise there. I mean, you send Drew Brees away. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. But this is a team that wants to smash the ball down your throats. And that's really what he's trying to build. It's an impressive thing for them. He then went and grabbed Antoine Cason from the Titans, which is a good corner for him, to play some man defense in exchange for their third-round pick in 2015 and Bryce McCain, and then finished their day by sending Victor Cruz and Ed Reed to the Lions for Brandon Browner, another good man cornerback, tight end and run blocker Bear Pascal, and another right tackle in Jeremy Parnell. So really, you can see that team, what they want their identity to be is to run the ball at you for an entire football game. I don't know, who they're going to throw the ball to if they get stuffed, but he doesn't plan on getting stuffed. He wants to put 8 linemen in the game and let you know what's coming and say try to stop it. Definitely a good week for the Giants to get back to what they want to do is the old Bengals days. It's tough. I mean, I know the Steelers, they had some tough times with them every now and then. The Browns had some tough times with them every now and then. That run game can get frustrating, especially if you're behind and you get behind in a game and he runs for 5 yards and 30 seconds later he runs for 5 more yards. You just feel the time clicking away. So if they can get up in a game, I really like their chances. The Vikings, in terms of rumors, they're still shopping Peyton Manning, or I'm hearing, or Tom Brady. I really think he needs to get rid of one of them. I've been saying keep one, but from what I'm hearing, it's in his head. He doesn't know who to play. One guy struggles, he goes to the other guy. He needs to get rid of one of them and just really go with Manning or Brady. I'm hearing it's going to be Manning, but who knows? Maybe he sends Brady to somewhere and he keeps Peyton. A little bit of a shock after the Jags shopped Charles and Colson for a week. Big news last week. They weren't heard from again. Nobody's heard from the Jags really since everybody's made their offers. I don't know if he really doesn't want to trade Charles anymore, or maybe he, I don't know, maybe he dropped his phone in the toilet. Nobody's really sure. Nobody's gotten a hold of him. I know that we're reaching that end of time, and it'll be interesting to see if Charles goes anywhere. I don't see it happening. But Hooters been wrong before. Packers are willing to listen to offers on quarterback Nick Foles. They're really open to anything. It might take a little bit to get him, but he's a good quarterback. Teams like the Cowboys definitely could be interested in Nick Foles. Speaking of the Cowboys, still desperately shopping for help at inside linebacker, wide receiver, and quarterback. Quarterback, obviously the most important. They feel that they really have a good shot to make a good run if they can grab a quarterback that can play sufficient offense. I know that, just from the rumors, and obviously that they've talked about Big Ben, they've talked about Carson Palmer, they've talked about Peyton Manning. You name it, the Cowboys have tried to get it. I know they scoured the free agent market, just something that's going to just make some sort of play for this Dallas team. And we'll find out if they get their man before next Sunday. And the Patriots, they're looking for a cornerback, one that's going to start for them. I know that they're really looking good right now. They'd like to make a push. They need a little bit of help in their secondary. They're saying they're willing to use all their draft picks if they need to acquire one. Some teams, cornerback's a little bit tough to acquire, but some teams that are out of it might start thinking about grabbing a first-round pick and giving up one of their cornerbacks who might be a little old and maybe replacing him in the draft. That's about it. Trade rumors. Scott, because you are here, you have the mic. Anything you're looking for, anything you're shopping?
Oops. No, it's the same old story as everybody else. I want an elite cornerback. I have put in multiple offers to multiple teams. Still haven't found success there. Golden Tate is available for that elite cornerback. As I keep getting offers on him, seems to be quite a bit of interest with his success this year. But that's kind of the biggest thing is I want a cornerback, and preferably before I play the Colts. And so the results of that game are going to be pretty key on that. If I don't get it done and we play, then it's going to probably, my interest in the corner will probably go down quite a bit. So either way, before the game against him, a little more ramp-up effort on my part. But so far it looks like that nothing's going to happen. So that's my words for the week anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been saying, teams are getting a little bit wiser. It's getting a little bit tougher to make some deals. And some of the deals have been really, the people, kind of went after. It's almost been, some people are really overselling their players. And we'll see as it gets closer to Sunday and guys get a little more nervous. We'll see what the best trade we think of the week is, and what we think is really the oops, you did it again trade. Or maybe oops, you finally did it once. But, guys to watch out for, the Titans. The Packers could make some big moves. Cowboys want to make some big moves. Steelers, I'm hearing, they could make some big moves.
Always trying.
Colts, I'm hearing they're pretty dry, but they always pull something out. They seem to get their heads in on something. The Lions, they grabbed Victor Cruz. I'm going to guess that a guy like Brandon Marshall is going to get shocked. A lot of things going on. The Bucs have shot some messages out. Nobody wants to trade with him because he's a defending champion. So a lot of things. 1 week to get it done. It should be an interesting week. You can check on Twitter for any rumors. I'd like to break some trades on Twitter when people let me know. Keep everybody in the loop. And again, that's at Hooter McGavin. All right, I'm going to go to this week in the National Madden League. And a couple of really big games this week. It'll be interesting to see a few of these games and how they turn out. At least we get to do this part. I'm really upset with myself because then I have to come through and do it afterwards. So bear with me for 1 second. And we are up. You still got me, right? Right, Scott?
Yep, still here.
Excellent.
Just working on phones.
We're going to start Chargers-Broncos. Another big game for the Broncos to keep on that pace to make the playoffs. I just don't see the Chargers being able to stop anybody. I like the Broncos in this one, 28-14. I think McCoy's going to have another big day. The Broncos are starting to figure out offense. Should be an easy one for them. Lions-Falcons. That's going on right now. Like I said, it'd be interesting to see if we get Mr. Edel in here or not. If we don't, that's okay. Should be in here anyway. I'm going to imagine that game's not close at this point, and he could probably multitask. Too many weapons. I'm be interested to see how many catches Victor Cruz gets tonight. I'll take the Lions 45-3. Vikings-Bucks. This, on a normal week, would be the game of the week. This is going to be a very good game. The Vikings got beat by the Bucks last year in the playoffs. It was a close game. The Bucks get a little frustrated sometimes when they're playing the Vikings. They do some weird things on defense. The Bucks don't really like a lot of it, and sometimes that gets in their head a little bit. I don't see enough practice out of the Bucks, and I'm going to call something of an upset here. I'm going to take the Vikings 28-17. Bills and the Jets. The Bills have been playing okay. The Jets have just been bad. I'll take the Bills here, 17-13. They're going to try and keep pace. Hopefully they'll have a big matchup with New England later on in the year and try to gain some games. I don't think there's a chance of it. I don't think they have a shot of it. I just think the Bills are a better team. Bears, Patriots. Here's two surprise teams, both definitely in a playoff hunt. Bigger game, I'd say, for the Bears to win here. Maybe that'll influence things a little bit. You know, they're brothers. It'll definitely be an interesting game. I think the Patriots have played much better offense. Now, the Bears grabbed Drew Brees, but I just don't see him stopping the Patriots. I think Terrell Pryor's played too well. The Patriots maybe defense a little bit overrated. Maybe the Bears can score some points. I think it'll be close. I'm going to take the Patriots 28-21. Seahawks Panthers. Seahawks had very little shot to win this game, and they have even worse shot to win it without Matt Ryan. I really like the Panthers here. Should be a blowout, 35-7. Dolphins Jags. This is a brother game, and it'll be interesting. I really like the Jags here. I just think they're a better team. The Dolphins are one of the worst teams in the league. If the Jags keep Charles, they'll be able to run the ball well. Jags, I think, win this one 24-14. Ravens Bengals. Daryl said, "Who cares? Don't watch." That's probably the truth. It's nice the Ravens get a couple of fluff games before they get really back into the thick of things. They will. They played the Falcons last week with an easy win. They'll get another easy win here. Hopefully they keep the score under 100 and be a little bit respectful. Ravens should win at 49-7. Texans-Titans. Big game for the Texans. If the Titans could finish games, I'd pick them here. And the Titans have played very, very bad defense. I think that the Texans run the ball very well, and their defense is going to do enough to hold the Titans. I'll take the Texans 21-14. Rams-Chiefs. I would have said a few weeks ago this would be a good game. Now the Chiefs haven't played well, and the Rams are sneaking by some victories. The Chiefs snuck by last week. It could be a close game. I just don't see the Rams having enough on offense to really do anything against a good Chiefs defense. Des Bryant probably gets going, has a good game. I don't think there's much more to say. I think the Chiefs get this one 28-10. A little bit of a surprise here at Eagles-Cardinals. Cardinals have played very well. As I said last week, the first time is the worst time, that you play the Eagles. The Giants found that out, 2 weeks ago. The Eagles have played good defense. The offense has been good enough. I like what they're doing there. I think Jordy Nelson's going to be a little bit too much for the Cardinals to handle. They don't really have the secondary to stop him. And that defense in Philly's played too good. I'll take the Eagles here 24-7. Gotta skip that. That's my game of the week. Raiders-Browns. The Raiders are going to get smacked in the face this week. The Browns' defense is too good. I know the Raiders like to run the ball. I haven't seen very many people run the ball effectively on the Browns yet, and I don't think this one's really going to be close. I think the Raiders too young. Browns 31-7. Packers Saints. It's a tough one for me because I know who won this game. Now, no doubt I would have taken the Packers to win this game. 21-20, I felt that the emergence and the addition of Percy Harvin, they were going to really go off. But the same things that's happened all year it's happened again, and Packers just refused to play any defense. They lost this game earlier tonight. I'm still going to stick with it because I picked Packers 21-20. Hooter gets one wrong. Redskins Cowboys. A lot of worry from our analyst. I know Daryl picked the Skins to win the game. The Cowboys are saying no chance. Very confident in a victory. I think the defense can hold unless the Redskins can somehow manage to run the ball for 300 yards. I'm so confident in getting the victory that I'm willing to say that if I lose this game, next week I will have no beard. So if the Cowboys lose tomorrow night, next Monday, the Cowboys will shave their beard. That's how confident I am in this victory. I think we're going to win this one. It'll be close. We'll take it 28-21, and I'll be back next Monday still with this beard. And I like this beard. My girlfriend likes this beard. And then last but not least, the game of the week, Steelers-Colts. Steelers are one in the past with a great running attack. The key is going to be ultimately can the Colts get the Steelers out of his head. So far, it hasn't been a good thing. The Steelers were very impressive last week. He needs to score a bunch again this week. To beat the Colts, he's going to have to stop Gronk, Julio, VJ, and everything else that the Colts run at him. And he's going to have to do it creatively. He can't run the same defense. He's going to have to play some man sometimes, some zone some other times. He might even have to go into some man-zone schemes. First step's got to be to put somebody on Gronk. In the Colts, their run defense has been good, and the Steelers haven't run the ball enough yet this year to really make a difference. I feel like every week I pick against the Steelers, and I'm sure the Scott's probably pretty happy about it. I keep picking against him. He keeps winning, so I think I'm going to, just for Scott's sake, I'm going to keep picking against him. I'm going to take the Colts 31-17. I just don't feel that the Steelers have figured out that run game that they're going to need to do. Now, if they pass the ball well, and they come out and they should get in the lead early. If they take an early 2-score lead, this game's over. The Colts won't respond. I just don't see it happening. But other than that, I mean, the Colts have been almost unstoppable all year. Defensively, they've been very good. Offensively, they've been very good. It's tough to pick against them. Can't pick against a team that hasn't been beaten. I'll take the Colts to win again. Their perfection continues to go, and we'll see if anybody can stop them this year. That's it for this week's games. Other than that, I mean, not much else to say other than a little bit of trade advice. I can tell everybody to think smartly and think about your team in the future, not just making that one trade that is going to grab you one guy now, but next year you're not going to have anybody. And if you're not sure that you're going to play next year in the league, to not go and sell your entire team. I mean, we want to keep the integrity of the league up, and it's been around for a long time. I mean, since 2003. I mean, or 2005. I want to say. I mean, we've been here for a long time, and a lot of the guys in this league have been here for a long time. I've been here since '08. It's 7 years. We're going 8 years in 2015. The last thing any of us want to see is you not sure if you're going to be here and you selling everything you own. Other than that, I mean, do what's right for your team. If you're losing, if you're losing a lot of games, my advice is sell, sell, sell. If you need a couple pieces to make your team good, then get rid of some of those young guys. Get rid of some draft picks and try to get those pieces that are going to make you compete. But think about it. Think about everything you do. Do your research. Don't trade for guys that are retired. Don't trade for guys that are 35 if you're a team that's out of it. Do the right thing. Think about it. Don't be afraid to ask for some help. My least favorite person's here.
Oh, I love you too, man.
I know John is here, and John, I'm just kind of talking about smart trading, and as much as everybody hates to give you any props on anything, John really did it. I mean, John came in and had a team that wasn't very good and made some smart trades and and traded away a lot of older pieces and got some draft picks, and within a few years he had a team that really could compete. And now he's at a point where he only needs to trade something if he really needs to. So have a plan. You know, if you want to be a team that's going to rebuild. You know, get rid of those older players. It's okay if you have a quarterback that's 31 years old and you're 2-5 or you're 2-6 and it's not looking good for you. It's okay to get rid of some of those older guys to get some young players in the draft. I mean, I did it last year. It's still a little bit of ways away, but if you just take a look at how I traded away and then grabbed a bunch of good rookies like Khalil Mack and Jason Verrett and Kyle Fuller, and you pick up some pieces along the way, and the Browns, another team that did it. You know, they went and they drafted a bunch of guys. You know, that team didn't have DeMarco Murray and Colin Kaepernick and all the guys that he ends up with on that defense, and he turns it around by realizing that his team wasn't the best. And he went out and he made the deals and he got things done. So, like I said, bottom line advice: think about what you want to be, what team you want to be, and maybe most importantly, if you're not sure if you're going to be around, just don't ruin it for everyone else. Other than that, Scott, anything to say?
Nope. Good
Scott,
show.
John, anything to say? I don't think John's got anything either.
Sorry, I had myself muted. Looking for another good week of games. Good luck to everybody, and I'm excited to hear some trade rumors.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be
right before the deadline.
Yeah, next Sunday it's going to be the deadline. There's going to be a lot of things. You know, I said earlier there's going to be the oh no, I can't believe that, and there'll be trades that are going to upset some people. There'll be things that are going to surprise some people. But do what's right for you. As always, follow me at Hooter McGavin on Twitter. Text, emails, whatever you want. If you have somebody that you want to shop, sometimes a lot of these guys, they're at work and they're not on the chat. They're not necessarily even looking at their email. But a lot of these guys, I tweet something and they're looking at it like that because guys are on Twitter. So if you want to have your voice heard, if you have anything to say, Hooter McGavin, follow me. Other than that, just remember, if you see me next week without a beard, it means the Cowboys lost to the Redskins. Other than that, episode 4 is over. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.